Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another episode of Park Spotlight. Today we have a very different style of theme park. We're going to be checking out Beartooth Hill Bike Park, created by DJBKoasteRs, one of our Discord builders, and here they say, welcome to Beartooth Hill Bike Park, an alpine park which combines roller coasters with mountain bike trails. Since the start of lockdown, I have decided to build a Planet Coaster park like nothing you've seen before. Using the game's terrain tools, I managed to build 7 bike trails off different difficulties. However, the restrictions of the game mean that the park isn't completely functional. Many of the rides don't have real entrances and exits, as I wanted this park to feel as realistic as possible. I have created custom paths which you could still walk through on Tegicam. As a result, there is no spawn point for the guests in this park, as they won't be able to ride many of the attractions, and obviously not the bike trails. This is also why there are hardly any in-game paths. I hope that these changes will allow to make a park realistic as ever, and I hope you enjoy exploring it. Some of the other attractions include an Alpine Coaster, a zipline, a CGI wooden coaster, and a Mack Mega Coaster. Boom! There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds awesome. It's something different, and I like different. So stay tuned, and let's get right on into it. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Hope you're all doing great today. Here we are. This is technically the park entrance. I love the fact that you got the cars going up and down the roads like this. Makes it super immersive. Big mountain hill with the highway going by. And it's fun. Now, as a side note, you could always, for funsies, make it so you could use the Ghostbusters DLC car so he can drive down the bike trails. I'd like to see someone do that, do like little off-road bike trails, but I know it's kind of silly that we're riding a car, not a bike, but we get to still go up and down the hills and drive it and steer it, and that could have made for a really interesting experience, being able to take the car through. And it's like, oh, well, you could still try to do that, Johnny, but we don't know if the paths are wide enough for it, and I actually have to get the achievement to drive the car, so I'm actually not prepared to do that here today. But if people start using that car more often, I will beat the scenario and we'll go check it out. We'll see what we can do with those. I still think you could have had the guests coming in. I would have opened it up to the public and had them walking up and down the bike trails. I think that would have been fine. Beartooth Hill, beautiful sign here. But yeah, those are my first impressions, my first thoughts. We have a bike trail map here. Whiteout is a coaster at the back there. We got the Grizzly Run, we have the log flume, and we have the different bike trails. The Star Track, where's this one? I like this idea, and again, if driving that car through here would have been actually quite cool. I would have driven the car along all the tracks. Now, I wish I could probably place one down, but I won't be able to drive it because I don't have the achievement unlocked. So, oh, darn, I'm really wishing we could at least go check them out. But that could be fun, having like this off-road park where you have these different trails for us to use the Ghostbusters car to drive on through. I think that's an interesting idea for people to play around with. Maybe instead of a bike trail, you go for more of an off-roading car experience, because something cool. Get your ride passes, only $15. Cool. I like this idea. Mountain biking. We are in spring right now. We're coming up on summer. Perfect timing. Really cool. I think they're all sold out of souvenirs. Or these are cubbies. You store your stuff here. I see. And you get your bikes here. Oh, fun. Handlebars made out of carrots. Very cool. To the top. So we have a chairlift. Or a gondola. Love the building designs as well. So there's really, you have to take the chairlift up or walk up one of these pathways. So let's just simulate going up the gondola here. Boom, 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 and we are magically at the top. Toilets and changing. Drinks and food. So yeah, I still think it would have been highly beneficial to set it all up so that the guests are in here eating, having a good time, the shops are working, none of the people are depressed. That would be my biggest... If you guys are going to make a theme park, you might as well make a theme park. This is running at like 50 FPS roughly. It's running beautifully. There's no reason not to have the guests in here. So this is one of the bike lanes. Let's just try it out. So I think this would have been extreme. Yeah, even if I had the Ghostbusters car unlocked and ready to go, it would be impossible to drive it through here because it's so tight, and the bridges and stuff, it might get a little, yeah, it's just too narrow. But this is a fun concept. I really like this. I mean, we can kind of pretend like we're on a bike and cruise on through here. If only we could actually simulate the bike. It looks like it veers off. Let's veer off down here. Rip over the coaster, and we're back to the bottom. And now you take the bike lift up again. Oh, look at that. We could actually see all the pathways from a bird's eye view. See how they weave in and out. So yeah, let's just go back to where our flag marker was and see where else we can go. We got a little watchtower up here, radio station or something. Let's go check that out. Yeah, it's so different, and I like different, as I was saying. It's just like not a standard theme park, but there's still coasters. There's zip lines. What a great idea. Oh, okay. We have to do the zip lines. First, let's check out this eating area. Panorama Cafe. It looks quite nice in here. Ooh, it's a perfectly designed cafe. This is really good. Great use of the ThemeMaker toolkit. We have a shop contest coming up. I hope to see some of that stuff in there. We allowed ThemeMaker toolkit. Oh, and a great view of everything from up here. Yeah, this is a great park to come spend a day at, you know, especially if you like mountain biking. And ziplining. I've never been ziplining. Boy, would I like to try this. Whee! Boom. Slam up on that. And we have zipline to the other side. Oh, back to where we started. Perfect. Might as well go ride a coaster. That's what the show's all about. Riding coasters, checking out parks. There is a swing ride in the middle. Wait a second. Is the queue for the coaster part of this? I think so. Whiteout. Exit only. Entrance. Nice queue work. Lots of realism. It's very detailed. Put your stuff in the cubbies. Like this little boarding station. And what do we have here? Whiteout. It's a launch vector. There's a look at all the results. Let's hop on it. You know what idea just crossed my mind? It might be a little bit silly, but it could have been an idea. It could have been fun. You have, what, 6 or something bike trails. You could have stations for coasters and run the motorcycle track up and around and through all of these. And actually had bikes going up and down the circuits. Mainly down, and then you get to the bottom and maybe it just goes through a thing and it goes back up. That could have been fun. Or had them in test mode. Oh, that's a good idea. So you have the station here, and then it just goes down, and when it gets to the bottom, it literally just crashes. And we just have them all in test mode. Then you have bikes going all the way down the trails. Then we could have ridden the bikes all the way to the bottom, you know, and actually had the ridden the track all the way. Yeah, sure, we crash when we get to the bottom, but the idea is the bike trail ends, we get off the bike, and we go back up. So that's kind of a fun idea that could have worked. I'm just trying to think, like, how can you bring that simulation to the next level and add a little bit of silly, fun entertainment as a bonus, right? This is cool. So we have the Alpine Coaster's Wooden Wild Mouse Hunt, and that's going to be pretty fun. Let's throw it back into test mode. We don't have any guests to kick off anyways. Let's check it out. That's fun. I like the little safety nets and stuff like that along the sides. And you can actually see how riding a track like that down the mountain, how that would be kind of fun if we had the little motorcycles in test mode at the top of each of the bike runs. That'd be kind of a fun idea. Not practical, but still fun. Let's keep poking about and see what else this park has to offer. I did see some log flumes, a wooden coaster on the other side. Now, I'm not sure if I should be riding all the bike trails, but I do want to climb around some of these little nature walks and check some of the stuff out here. See where it takes us. Fun little bridges and creeks running about there. It's really quite nice. I really like these kind of nature woodsy parks. Brings me back, I think the very first park spotlight I ever did was called like Grizzly Hills or something like that. And it was a ton of fun. So whenever I get a park like this, I get a little bit excited and nostalgic because here we are, 400 plus park spotlights in, and there's still things that are popping up that kind of bring me back to my roots and remind me of the beginning days. So we're gonna ride down the bike path blue. Watch out, danger. Oh, hard turn. And see if this can lead us to the coaster. How do we get to you? Here we go. Ride our bike down here. I have a feeling these are the last two rides. A little bit of a shorter park here today, but also something different, and I quite enjoy that variety. And we have some, we have a lot of variety coming up this week, so a little bit of something for everyone. So why don't we start off with the log flume and save the best for last, and that would be the wooden coaster. We're gonna pop our heads up for this one. If we hit our heads on anything, that is simply because we're above the dummies' heads. Well, let's just enjoy this log flume. I quite like that. I love the views from the top of the log flume as well. Getting to the top here, looking back at the Grizzly Run, the little tower up above. It's really quite beautiful. You did a really good job at capturing the nature here of the mountain hills, the Grizzly Run. Where's the actual entrance for this guy? Are we tall enough? Let's go on up and check out this Woody. Don't leave! Yep. Boarding stations have looked really good. I love your attention to detail on everything so far. Wait, I closed it down. There's a look at the stats if you want to see them. Standard traditional Woody. Let's go. All right, really cool. I love what you did with the layering of the track. Passing through the boarding station multiple times, it's going to make it quite intense as multiple trains start running on this thing, and how they all squeeze under this bridge here together where the bikers are passing over top. And just what you did here with all the custom supports, it looks really interesting. It just feels so nicely wedged into place between the layout of the rock work and, again, more custom supports all along the sides. It's really nicely designed. I quite like that. In fact, it leaves me wanting a little bit more. I love the design of this so much and how you've placed it in there. Would have been nice to see a few more designs throughout the mountain like that. It does leave you wanting a little bit more. And as to my suggestion before about the bike trails, adding in a few of those, you know, just a boarding station stuffed in the ground and you see motorbikes going down, and we could jump on that and ride it. Even if it's just the one, that could be really cool. Just so we actually simulate going down this on a bike. And I think like that'd be the only thing missing, because I don't think it gives the same experience if we just fly the camera through these. And I don't know if that's as entertaining as, you know, riding something itself. My camera's a little bit janky. The shift key either goes too fast or too slow, and navigating through this with the camera doesn't give you the same effect. And you can control that a little bit better with the brakes. You can control that a little bit better with the banking, and how you want that to kind of have the bike slide up around the side and back down and left to right, and maybe it loses control a little bit. You could kind of control and could guide that experience for us a little bit, and then it just crashes here at the bottom. That way we could have ridden all the bike trails and had each one of those an experience of their own. And I don't know if flying the camera down each one of those is going to do it, but we can see them all there. I gave about 4 of them a run, and it seems like some of them start at different points. So for the most part, I think we hit all the bike trails going down them, and they lead into the other ones that we rode, and then back into here. We went down here, we went down here. So I think maybe other than this one, I know we did go down that one, but it joins in with this one over here. But I like this idea because of all the narrow areas and all the terraforming you did. It takes a lot of patience to just get that done right. And yeah, so I feel like I've hit them all now that I look at it, with the railings and the little bridges. It's quite a fun idea, and it's left me wanting a bit more. I actually really enjoy this thoroughly. The you know, having a log flume in there, wooden coaster, maybe you could have snuck an RMC off into the side here, or maybe an exploration coaster that kind of goes around the back, like a big Giga or a Strata coaster that takes you around the whole experience and even down to the front a little bit, or splooshes through and down and busts out of a dam or something, and you have a dam here. I don't know. I'm just thinking how you could take this to the next level, to the next extreme, based off what I see and what I like. I think this can go a lot further, but what you have here is great. I thoroughly enjoyed this. All the rides were fun, especially the wooden coaster. We saved best for last. I enjoyed the log flume. It was good pacing, good angles, good viewpoints. The bike trail is a great idea, and I think if you actually turn that into test circuits, that could be cool as well. Maybe have an off-roading section with the Ghostbusters cars I mentioned earlier. Back-roading, that might be fun, being able to drive it around here. Maybe a go-kart going around the lake or something. You could definitely keep pushing this idea. So anyone who's taken inspiration from this, feel free to play around with this idea. This is why people create this stuff. They're inspired by somebody else, or they find the time to do something and they take it and they push it. I think you're onto something here. I think what you did is really good, and I think there's room to improve on this, and it's a theme in an area that we don't see so commonly, and that's why I think it could be pushed further, because we're 4 years into the game and we're only seeing our first bike trail kind of grizzly, what'd you call it, Bikepark just now. This has got to be the first one I've seen, and then some ideas come from that, and then it keeps evolving from there, right? We've seen so many traditional there seems to be like a lot of pirate stuff coming up lately, and you know, we are seeing recreations of this and that, and you know, what are the areas in Planet Coaster that haven't been played around with that much? This comes forward as one of them. I think there's some more fun to be had here, and some more things to play around with, and these little bits of realism, you know, chaining in the rocks from preventing avalanches and safety girders. All those little things that you did here are magnificent. Custom supports, and you know, it's just really well done. So I have no knocks on it, and I certainly think it's left me wanting more, and that's a positive for me. That's a huge positive. Love what you did with the highway as well. I pointed out in the beginning. The watchtower. It's all looking really great. It's cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it. What did you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Do you agree with me on the bike trail idea? Do you like this theme? Would you like to see more of this? Maybe the creator DJBKoasteRs could take another stab at it, or continue working on this one, take it a little bit further with some of the ideas and suggestions, and build to the back of the park a little bit more front. You still have a lot of frames to work with. Opening it up to the guests, I think there's some little things that you could do to facelift this, or maybe you're inspired to do a new theme, a more Mount Everest style, more like think about like a Mount Kilimanjaro extreme games. You have bike paths going from the top of the mountain, but then you have trains and stuff going in and out of the mountain. This just opens up a whole lot of things that I think that haven't been tapped into yet for Planet Coaster, and like that Mount Kilimanjaro idea, the most extreme mountain with coasters and trains and bike rides and extreme sports and marathon things. There's so much you could do with it, and I love it. Again, it brings me back to like my very first park spotlight with Grizzly Hills, and we have the Grizzly Run, very fitting. So I definitely love it. I had fun with this one, and I would like to see more of this stuff in the future. So to all you builders building stuff, doing the nature themes, think about the things we've seen here today, the details, the elements, the little bridges, walkways, railings. See what you can take from that. So really good job from our builder, DJBKoasteRs, a builder in this community, coming forward with some really nice work, showcasing your skills, and you know, keep doing what you're doing, keep having fun with the game. I like what I see here. Boom. Leave your comments down below, guys. That is going to do it for me in today's episode. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.